conversation.
Hello everyone! Welcome to another day, night, afternoon of Dragon Age Inquisition. Let's get this game started. Okay. I guess I have to log in. Log in and connect to the Dragon Age servers. Boop. What just happened? There. Okay, our plan for today is simple. Last stream we received 2 invitations to meet with 2 mysterious individuals who claim to want to join our worthy cause, our group, our Inquisition. And that is what we're going to do today. So let us start with I guess I don't understand what this is because I think I've picked up the special shipments unless they added additional special shipments. I think these are the freebies from DLCs and the sort.
You're worried about the rifts. I understand.
Oh, it's in this house over here, to the north.
My Creator, judge me whole. Find me well within your grace. Touch me with fire that I be cleansed.
I guess we received some new stuff? Yeah, we did. Enhanced stuff. Just schematics.
Good luck sealing those rifts.
Thank you. Well, let's just check with our advisors if there are war table operations that we need to do, that we can do in the meantime.
I'm used to delivering children and helping old men through the winter cough. Seeing these injuries. I was with the Templars. I can tend any wound caused by blade or a mage's fire. I'll admit that demons are new, though.
Okay. Good luck, Chantry women. Ooh. Something new.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in a city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
It was worth the risk, Colin.
We had to do something, and now we have an opportunity. Yes, and we have the opening we need to approach the Templars and the Mages.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the Mages in Redcliffe instead.
Now
You think the
they're
Mage
making
Rebellion
us
is more united?
choose.
It could be 10 times worse.
I don't know. I think in my first playthrough I went with the Templars, and I just feel like when you're dealing with magic, logically you'd go with the Templars, right? Instead of trying to counter it with more magic. I guess for this run we are going to go with the Templars too.
I think the Templars are worth investigating.
I agree. What could the Lord Seeker be up to?
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The Mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
Is it a trap? I don't think so.
You think the invitation could be some kind of trap?
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave.
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then
Oh,
the
really?
Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
Like what? I guess we're not powerful enough.
There is one other matter. Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
Okay, for those who don't know, let's ask this question.
Grey Wardens? I'm not familiar with them. They're an ancient order that has existed to fight Darkspawn invasions since the first Blights thousands of years ago. They have faded since those glory days, but haven't disappeared entirely. Ordinarily, their order is neutral in political affairs, but they appear in strange places.
I mean, it could be related.
That does sound odd. I agree. The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease. And if he can't? Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Okay. So, we have a couple of leads here. We can choose to go and visit the mages, but we can also choose to go and visit the Templars immediately, or we can recruit more companions. Let's see what Mother Giselle has to say.
You return.
Oh, and that's probably the same dialogue over here.
I don't believe I've had the chance to speak candidly with the revered mother. Can you tell me about the Chantry?
I presume you mean deeper questions about the organization itself. I trust the Chantry at Ostwick taught you the basics.
What? How do you view magic?
What is your stance on magic?
Andraste put it simply. Magic must serve man, not rule over him. However, those words must be put into the proper historical context. Andraste led a rebellion against the Tevinter Imperium, whose magisters controlled most of the world at the time. Even then, she never called for all mages to be put to death. She believed in peaceful coexistence.
I don't recall the Chantry being as tolerant of magic as you describe.
No. The Chantry is an imperfect vessel, pulled in every direction by those who would steer its course. Yet the Templars rebelled precisely because divine Justinia was not restrictive enough. Perhaps the Inquisition will find a better way.
Interesting. Why only human women as a divine?
Why does the Chantry allow
And
only
a
human women to
priestess.
become priestesses?
Priestess.
The official doctrine is that elves and dwarves have turned further from the Maker than humanity.
That's a
And as
bit
for men,
odd.
the chant holds that they are more vulnerable to anger or passion.
That's not
But in
very
truth,
good to
It is
say.
simply political. Added after Andreste's death, like too many of our beliefs.
Yeah, if you believe that it should be, I don't know, like it should be more equal, then I guess definitely you have to fight for it.
If you don't believe these restrictions are what Andraste wanted, why haven't you tried to change them?
Has the current state of the world not taught you the folly of fighting too many battles at once? I chose to use what power I had to help peasants forgotten by the nobles of Orlais. I believed there would be time to address their inequality under the Chantry once we had saved them from starving.
That's true. It's a process. Change is a process.
There were calls for an exalted march to put down the Mage rebellion. What was your opinion?
It was ignorant gossip. An exalted march only succeeds when it carries the will of the people. Even then, it cannot be undertaken lightly. People are too easily frightened. We cannot destroy everything they fear. An exalted march is justified only against a true threat to this whole world. It is an offense to the Maker to use it as a political bludgeon, or as a means of spreading the chant of light.
How about the march on the Dales, which occurred probably a long time ago?
What about the exalted march that conquered the elves?
That is a hotly debated matter in some circles of the Chantry. The elves had conquered Mont-Saint-Marthe and threatened Val-Royeaux itself. They were not helpless victims. But even then, Orlais was the only nation to provide troops. It was hardly an exalted march of all the faithful. The Maker wishes his world to spread by example, not by war. We win no converts with blood.
Oh, okay, I guess the Exalted March against Dalish elves. It's a very complicated matter.
Farewell.
Farewell.
What is this place again? Oh, it's a dungeon. I wonder if there are prisoners. Are there prisoners this time? Probably not. Ooh. Okay, I thought that was a head, but it wasn't. It was just a jar. I guess we don't have any prisoners yet. That's sad. I would have wanted to interrogate them. Tell me the truth. Okay, I am just going to check on something. Okay, maybe I'll do it later.
I will take these injury reports to researcher Manave.
Anything here, Josephine?
Ah, Lady Trevelyan. May I have a moment?
Are there research items that we need to turn in? Yeah, I
Thank
guess. 4 of them. What do you need from me? I'm trying to right click.
Yes,
There.
Ambassador?
I'd like to discuss your parents.
Well, that was quick. Okay, sure.
What would you like to know?
I'd like to dispatch a courier asking the bands of House Trevelyan to align themselves with us. What are your thoughts? Should we approach your family for their formal support of the Inquisition?
Let's just say that I'm not in their good graces. Well, according to the background that we read in the beginning during character creation, our family and direct relatives are very religious. That is the primary reason why we were at the conclave, so I guess we can say number 3.
My parents are on a first-name basis with most priests in Ostwick, and I have a dozen cousins in the Chantry. When they hear I've been touched by Andraste, you'll have to stop them from giving you money.
That doesn't sound
I'll
right.
take that as a yes. Val Royeaux has noted your lineage. It gives the Inquisition some legitimacy, although not so much as we'd hoped.
Why not?
You are from Ostwick. Orlesian nobles consider the free marches somewhat quaint.
How dare they? We can just say our independence puzzles them.
Orlesians are just baffled free marchers governing themselves without an empress to hold their hands.
A peasant might get away with that insult, but not someone of your stature. Speaking of which, I should thank you for your patience with the simple quarters. The accommodations in Haven are surely rough for someone of your birth.
How do you find it?
This can't be what you're accustomed to, Ambassador.
One adjusts. I stay busy. It helps take my mind from our surroundings. And the cold. And the wildlife. And the lack of civilization for miles around.
She's not used to this either.
Why anyone lived here before we found Andraste's ashes, I cannot imagine.
We can be mean and say Haven is a freezing damp. Or we can be positive or polite about it. Yeah, I'm fine.
Don't worry about me. Haven's more than livable.
Really? If that is how you feel, I'm pleased to hear it. Until next time, my lady.
Alrighty. Any other thing that we should talk about?
What may I do for you?
Anything to report?
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Oh, it's the same thing. Okay. Or allies.
Any thoughts on the people here?
Who did you mean?
We can talk about our mages. We only have one so far. Solus.
What's your impression of Solus?
I suppose I should be wary of an apostate, but our elven mage has conducted himself with the utmost propriety. And he has the most fascinating stories.
How about Varric?
I was thinking of Varric.
Oh, I could listen to his tales for hours. He actually let me read a chapter of his next book he's writing. My friends would be sick with envy if they knew. It's excellent, but
that's so
a bit
nice to
different
hear.
from his past works. Only 3 beheadings so far.
So far. So most of his past works are even more violent. That's sad. Cassandra? Oh, okay, Cullen counts too. Okay.
I was thinking of Cassandra.
Seeker Pentagast is a princess of the Kingdom of Nevada, although that barely seems important to her. She was not interested when I asked if we might make use of her royal relations. Still, the Inquisition would not have formed without Cassandra. She's an extraordinarily driven woman.
I agree with that. How about Cullen? What do you think of him?
Commander Cullen came to mind.
The commander is an intelligent, cautious man. I'm grateful he's in charge of our standing army. Still, he does sometimes resemble the man with a hammer to whom everything appears as a nail.
Okay. I guess so. Well, we haven't really spoken with him that much.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Any other thing?
Greetings.
Duties.
What exactly does your job entail?
I meet with ambassadors from various factions and countries and cement alliances with them. We are a young cause. Diplomacy is essential to our credibility.
A representative of the Inquisition. Of
Then
course
you
she
speak
is.
to the Inquisition
An ambassador.
I do. Someone must foster goodwill on our behalf, as well as prevent controversy as news of us spreads.
She is our one-woman PR team.
How heavily are our actions scrutinized?
Make no mistake, every noble house, every throne is waiting to see what the Inquisition does next.
Many are willing to pledge support if offers are made in just the right fashion. I intend to see that they are.
Everybody's got their eyes on us.
Let's speak later.
We need to be careful not to get cancelled. How about you?
You've brought back some fascinating things. We're putting them to good use.
Good to hear. I think I've asked her the same questions. She doesn't have anything
I'll
more to
speak with
say.
you later.
Thank you again for what you've brought back.
Let's see. Anything that we can do here? I think it's... I wouldn't say important, but I think it's ideal for me personally to always, like, before you start the game, every time you... I'd say, like,
Have
you
you
know,
had any trouble?
play the game.
Not at all. I will inform you if that changes.
Every time you start up the game, I think you should go to the war table first so that you can see if there are things to be done. This has been completed. The confrontation with Mother Hevara in the Valerio market had the desired effect to a point. The Chantry's condemnation of the Inquisition was lost amid a flurry of speculation over the actions of Lord Seeker Lucius, as well as a divide in the opinions of the remaining Chantry clerics. There are, however, clerics still loudly denouncing the Herald of Andraste. The Inquisition could leave them to their speeches, but dealing with them before the Chantry elects a new divine could be of benefit. Yeah, that's something we can do right now. We can choose to use Leliana to exploit their secrets and weaknesses, or we can send a contingent of Inquisition soldiers to the Grand Cathedral. They can offer protection, and their visibility will remind the clerics that they are not out of our reach. Or we can focus on clerics who can be swayed and make their voices louder. That's exactly what we probably want to do. And it also takes less time.
At your service.
I think that way we can ally with some of the doubters in the Chantry. That will be to our benefit. And how about here? The cult of Andraste before the Fifth Blight and the arrival of the hero of Ferelden. That is a reference to the protagonist of the first Dragon Age game, Dragon Age Origins. Haven was occupied by cultists who worshipped a dragon, one they believed to be Andraste reborn. Both the cultists and their dragon were long gone by the time the Chantry arrived to build the Temple of Sacred Ashes, but there may still be undiscovered passages in the mountains containing their relics. With a concerted search effort, it might be possible to unearth something useful to the Inquisition. Okay, we can use Leliana to keep things safe, or we can use Cullen and his soldiers. Well, if Leliana has some agents knowledgeable regarding dangerous magic, I think that would be best.
Let's see what we have.
I guess that's it for now. That's all we can do for now. And we also don't have perk points as of the moment to spend. Before we go and recruit the new companions, I would like to try and speak with some of our people. Oh, hi.
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
Could you tell me who you are first?
Who are you, soldier?
Cremisius Aclasi with the Bull's Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Orlesian and Navarra. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bull's Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
A mercenary company, okay. Tell me about it first.
What can your Bull's Chargers offer the Inquisition?
We're loyal, we're tough, and we don't break contracts. Ask around Royeaux. We've got references.
And your leader, Iron Bull.
What should I know about your commander?
Iron Bull. He's one of those Kunari, the big guys with the horns. He leads from the front. He pays well, and he's a lot smarter than the last bastard I worked for. Best of all, he's professional. We accept contracts with whoever makes the first real offer. You're the first time he's gone out of his way to pick a side.
Interesting. And why do you want to work for the Inquisition? Or with the
Why
Inquisition?
did your commander send us this information?
Iron Bull wants to work for the Inquisition. He thinks you're doing good work.
I don't know if you're trustworthy yet, but I mean, we welcome any help that we can get.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Okay, thank you for the message. I just wanted to check on our
Seems odd.
companions and
I can see
advisors.
them breaking the Chantry's chain, but not running from a fight.
What do you know of the Templars?
Where do you think they get their lyria?
How about you, Lugane supporter?
Nice work with those supplies. The smiths can use them to fit our troops with better gear. Might not affect you much, but our recruits will have better chances next time some monster flies out of a rift.
Good. I guess that's it for her then.
Farewell.
No additional dialogue since the last time we were here. Some gold. I love our new armor. It's red. It's pretty. And we've got some new loot. How are you, Barrick?
Need something?
A personal question? I wonder if there are
Talk about
new
me? I'm flattered.
options.
Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
I guess not.
No problem.
There's nothing new. Let's go check on Solus.
Greetings.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
I must know I can trust you. Let's flatter him.
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I'm sorry. There's so much fear in the air.
Why are you so
What would you
guarded? Why did you even want to study the Fade?
What made you start
In the
studying
first
the
place.
Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
How troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
But you woke up.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the
Interesting.
Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
So it's not, the Fade is not an area or kind of like a plane of existence where you can just completely explore it like a map. you have to also travel in real life in the waking world and also learn and experience new things to be able to find more interesting stuff in the Fade, I guess.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
Okay. I hope it works.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You strengthen your body to deliver and withstand punishment. The muscles are an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Okay. Is he referencing working out? Strengthening his body? Okay, where exactly have you studied the Fade?
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers. The best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Which ones exactly?
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors.
Ooh.
Sir Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal
Ooh,
fire.
wow.
Morgane's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
Wow. He saw all that in the Fade while dreaming. He saw the entirety of Dragon Age Origins in his dreams.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
It's like the multiverse. Are you always alone?
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships.
With spirits?
Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
So just spirits?
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
Ooh. So when spirits of wisdom and purpose try to traverse into the waking world, into the real world, they get perverted and turn into demons. Pride demon and desire demon.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
Oh, so it depends on who ventures into the Fade. So are you saying that you're free of corruptions? You don't have any greed or pride in you? That's so impossible. Especially knowing who he really is, but oh well. I guess that's just how it is. Okay. Can they be your friends? Or that's amazing, I guess.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Barrett by his chest hair and not his will?
Oh my. What kind of comparison is this? Well, I don't know much about spirits. It's not like we've actually encountered a real spirit. That's much later in the game. So, I guess, like, personally, I would say that, you know, I do respect spirits, whether they are real life spirits or Dragon Age universe spirits.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but I see your point.
Thank you. Few are willing to entertain such a notion.
Goodbye.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
If you notice, every time you ask him a question and every time you agree with him, he slightly approves. For most other companions, they would only, you know, like, give you approval. Or you would only raise your friendship levels with them if you agree with them. Not if you ask them questions. But oh well. Solus is gonna be Solus. Okay. This is our first time talking to Cullen. Outside of that incident with the Roderick guy, the Chantry guy.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
Sir, yes, sir.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
I like to stand out. Well, I'm glad to be of service.
I just hope I can help.
As do we all. It is enough that you would try. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
Maybe my mark, the mark in my hand, might help.
I must have this mark for a reason. It will work. I'm sure of it.
Provided we can secure aid, but I'm confident we can. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
No, I mean, I agree with all the things you're saying. I don't mind. This is a romance dialogue option, and I'm not gonna romance him, but yeah, I like his, you know, opinions. I agree with him.
You understand our situation. I appreciate your opinion.
Look around. Our people are well organized and committed. Despite what the clerics think, we are in the best position to help. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Royeaux has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
Look at that face. His face is a bit funny. He is such a busy dude. He has so much to do. Can I ask you questions?
Did you need something?
Why did the Templars leave?
Why would Templars break away from the Chantry?
The Order believes the Chantry no longer supports their efforts. Not to the extent they should.
What changed?
But the Templars have served the Chantry for ages.
And in that time, they've come to take the Order's services for granted. Templars risk their lives against blood magic, demons, abominations, to feel as if those efforts are dismissed. I may disagree with the Order's actions. That I'm here is proof of that. But I sympathize with their frustrations.
Oh well. Tell me about your life as a Templar.
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer more than you already know. Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
How are they trained?
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you like your training?
Did you enjoy your training?
To learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar.
Oh wow, it's very
You were a model
enthusiastic.
student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the chant of transfigurations wasn't the most exciting task.
I can
I
imagine.
admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages.
To watch all the mages.
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of lyrium and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
Okay. I am not interested. I mean, I am interested in knowing whether they are celibate, but I don't want to ask him that because I don't want to flirt with him. What do Templars do?
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
But personally, what do you think of mages?
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession, at least.
That's good. That is character development because in Dragon Age Origins, when he was still a very young man, as a Templar in one of the circles, or rather the circle that we went to, or the hero of Ferelden went to with companions, I'd say that he was more against mages back then when he was younger. It's nice to see that now that he's grown more matured, and he's let go of his hatred and distrust of mages.
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars at our local chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
That's quite young.
13? That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy.
Well, that's not
Still,
good.
I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
Trained and educated as a Templar at a young age without your consent, I think it's okay. But yeah, I think it's sad because they probably don't get to spend much time with their parents as children.
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
You've lived in the Circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
Do you not talk to them?
Do Templars and mages never speak to each other?
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, Ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
That's true, because that would, that would kind of like give the mages an impression that they are prisoners and these Templars are wardens in a prison.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Should you require anything, I'll be here.
I think that, personally, I think that a healthy circle would be where, Templars are there to help, but they should talk and, mingle with the mages. But I guess some things such as building relationships and stuff, romantic relationships, should be prohibited, I guess, just so they can make good decisions, make the right decision when there are cases of possession and all that.
Yes?
I should get to know you better. We are working together after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
Did he just give me a letter to read? I'm asking you a question. I'm not telling you to read a letter. How to act for Relden, my esteemed Lady Sidonia. I'd like to take full responsibility for Lady Marchalette's odd behavior of late. You see, we recently began the study of history. I thought that it would do the young mistress some good to be exposed to all Theodosian cultures and not just Orlais. It was a foolish thought. Regrettably, your dear daughter has taken a particular interest in Ferelden folklore. She first developed an affinity for King Calenhad, which seems to have devolved into borderline infatuation. She stared at me eyes wide when I told how he unified the barbarians with his allegedly incomparable might and charisma. Every time I tried to move the lesson on to something more important, she insisted I tell her again about Calenhad. How did Ferelden say his hair was twice as yellow as the sun, and his chin more chiseled than the tallest peak in the frostbacks? Twice now I've had to tear down drawings she's tacked up in her bedroom of the man shirtless. Wow, this, I presume, teenaged Orlesian girl is treating a historical figure, Ferelden King, as, I don't know, like a K-pop star or something. She has a bias. Then we moved on to werewolves, which was even worse. As you may already know, the Fereldens venerate the folk heroes, Dane and Hafter. Dane was said to have been a werewolf, and Hafter to have descended from one. No enlightened man or woman could ever view such beast people with anything but revulsion. But Fereldens and their love of wildlife. Unfortunately, these tales of the wolfmen set the little mistress's imagination afire as this twilight. When she suggested we put on a play for you and her lord father, I could not say no. I'm afraid that's why Marchalette was running through the mansion, wearing wet furs and frightening the chambermaids. She was rehearsing a scene in which Hafter drives back the Darkspawn. I've been informed that some priceless family heirlooms were destroyed amidst all the confusion, and I cannot fully express my dismay. I understand if my abject failure as a tutor results in my immediate dismissal. A letter from Brother Bernard to his former employer.
I grew up in Ferelden, near Hongwith. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
But what was the... what was that? Was that a bug? What was the significance of that letter? I thought that it had something to do with his family. Yeah, Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two meet and, I don't know, were you friends?
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad.
Varric looks out for everyone. You were away a long time.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
Tell me about the Fifth Blight.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened there?
What happened at the Circle Tower?
Few who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
And
What
Kirkwall?
was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between Mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
All of those things happened in Dragon Age 2.
What happened between Kirkwall's Mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between Mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
And how did it end?
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order. But Red Lyrian had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion. Turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Okay, thank you for summarizing Dragon Age 2 for us.
I'll
Dragon
let you
Age
return to
Origins
your
and
work.
2.
Another time, then. Was there something you needed?
Anything I should know about our
Is there anything I
troops?
should know?
The Lord Seeker's actions are a mystery, but the Templars will aid us. They cannot sit idle while the breach remains.
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
Our companions. I guess Josephine first, our advisor and ambassador.
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
I think she is a pleasant person to talk to. Friendly, very friendly. What do you think of Leliana?
How do you like working with Leliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone. Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but Leliana is just as responsible for its formation.
That is true. And our troops?
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs for the time being. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
Oh, well, that is good news.
I should let you get back to work.
Okay, how are you, Cassandra?
Do you need something?
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the Chantry. Anything to add?
May I ask you about the Chantry?
It is difficult to say what becomes of the Chantry now. They have no Templars, no leadership, and no one left who is worthy of succeeding the Divine. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come.
Will there be a new Divine?
Will the Chantry replace Divine Justinia?
They will try. Once the priests withdraw for the Grand Consensus, it is against Chantry law for them to emerge without naming a new Divine. Sometimes it takes days, or weeks, or even months.
Oh, that's
The problem now is that no
I
clear
didn't know it's gonna
successor
take that
to
long.
Justinia exists. All worthy clerics died with her at the Conclave.
Should it be saved? What if they don't agree on a new Divine?
So what happens if they can't agree on someone?
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them or they see reason. Practically, however, if the Grand Consensus goes on too long, the Chantry will crumble. Any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
Would you serve a new Divine?
If they do choose a new Divine, will you serve her?
That depends on whether she would have me. I am a rebel now, remember? And even if she would, I do not know. It would depend on what type of divine she is. I am no longer in a position to follow blindly, and no new divine could expect such obedience.
That is good to know. That you can think for yourself. Do you think the Chantry should be saved?
Do you really believe the Chantry is worth preserving?
If you ask my opinion, it is. Absolutely. Cast the Chantry aside and new problems replace old ones. We will have learned nothing from history. The people need stability, and the Chantry needs a new purpose. Andraste had a dream for us. It can still be achieved.
What new purpose?
So, what should this new purpose be?
A dedication to what is truly important. Instead of building cathedrals and sewing gowns for the divine, the Chantry used to spend its coin feeding the poor.
And that's what it
If we are
should
to
be for
spread the Maker's
anyway.
word across the world, we must do so with open hearts and open hands.
She is an idealist, but I agree with her.
That sounds rather idealistic of you.
Does it? I do not think it's so unachievable. The Chantry has many good, honest people. They just need direction and inspiration. They need to be freed from centuries of adherence to tradition and ceremony. A chance for renewal is at our fingertips. It does not have to come with utter chaos.
And who is this Roderick fellow?
What influence does Chancellor Roderick really wield?
He's a bureaucrat, responsible for communicating the Divine's will to the rest of the Chantry. Therefore, he's accustomed to the clerics hanging on his every word, hoping his influence will benefit them. Despite that, Roderick is not a bad man. He's frightened, and believes his place is to fill the gap left by Most Holy's death. Some might agree. As far down the chain of command as he is, there is no one left above him.
Okay, and will it be a problem for the Inquisition?
How big a problem could he be?
No more than he is already. He sent his message to the College of Clerics. That is the only card he had to play. Dealing with him further only lends him credibility he doesn't deserve.
Okay, I guess we should ignore him then. Why did you lead the Chantry?
I'm surprised you rebelled against the Chantry.
I left my own order when they took the wrong path. It is no different. But in neither case did I stop caring. Indeed, I care so much that I feel drastic action is necessary. I suppose history shall one day judge my actions.
Okay, I guess that's all for now.
Thank you.
I guess those are the only people that we need to talk to here.
Have you seen the
Stables.
horses Master Dennett sent the Inquisition? They're magnificent.
Better than what you ride in Arnsberg?
Well,
Oh, you noble boys never change.
Let's see. I guess we can choose our mount here. The Ferelden Forder, a proud animal. The Ferelden Forder ranges well beyond its namesake, at home in stables and armies across Thedas. Inquisition Barded Charger. Best of breed, clad in the barding of a master, mount and armor are tailored for each other, one of a kind, and it knows it. Frostback Mountain Horse, fierce, loyal, and not quite tame, just the way they ever prefer. Asarash. Fast and resilient, these horses of Vivenne stock are used by the Canary military for carrying messages to outposts across the war-torn island of Saharan. I don't know, I think we should... I mean, this one's made for the Inquisition. I guess we'll use that. I mean, it looks cool.
That'll do fine.
Any other mounts? We have a mountain Dracolisk. Teeth sharper than Winterwind, but a steady beast for a bold enough rider. I don't know, it looks a bit spoopy. Hearts. Red Heart, a great stag of impeccable health and ability. Such mounts are a triumph of breeding and careful training. Or a greater Frostback Elk, once thought to be only a myth, now here in the flesh. Looks nice. And exotics. Our Warnug. That's so cute. Famed for its ability to strike fear into those unfortunate enough to face them in battle. Or an Oathbound Steed. Promise Bound. What is that? Is that an entire sword? It's not a unicorn. It's a sword I don't know what it should be called. It's a sword horn. Promise bound by an augur long ago, it will not depart this world with its oath unfulfilled. I don't like how that looks. It looks painful. Oh, Master Janet is here. How are you doing, Master?
Feels good to be back at work, Inquisition. And lucky you have me. In lesser hands, you'd be in trouble. Haven can't support the mounts you need, but I can.
How are the horses holding up?
How are your charges? Well supplied?
Haven is groaning under the weight. It wasn't built for this, but we'll make it serve.
News?
Heard anything worth noting?
Too busy to hear things, and that's how I like it.
Okay, then.
Farewell.
Take
May it be
care.
with you.
And we can buy and sell mounts here, I guess. A Tasslin Strider for free, a refined breed common in the warm climes of Antiva, suited to long distances and spirited charges. Let's buy it because it's free. And we can try it some other time. Okay, I guess now that we've talked to all of our advisors and companions, we are going to... What is this? What is this? There is something here. Is this a quest? Do we have a quest in Haven? Oh yeah, we do. We deliver the herbs because I guess we already have them. Yeah, I forgot in our last broadcast or stream that we got this quest from Mother Giselle.
Can I help you with something?
How do I fill special orders, I guess?
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or will jot down what you found.
Okay, so you want me to
Make her go with you.
use this table here. Okay. It's a healing mixture, a potent healing mixture that can treat many wounded people. Okay, it gives us 1 power.
That'll help.
Alrighty then.
Carter sells lyrium to both mages and Templars.
Right. Templars use it all the time. Nice, steady sales. Helps them fight magic, I think. The mages don't always need lyrium, but when they do, they buy it in buckets.
Oh, I didn't know the mages also use lyrium.
I don't understand. I thought the chant of light bound us all together.
The chant of light is beautiful, sister, but it's just words. People need more than that right now. They need action. Look at Mother Giselle. You could do worse than follow her example.
Okay, before we move on, I just wanted to look at the tavern. Is there anything in the tavern?
Got the door again, Flisser. Don't know how it keeps breaking.
Oh, you know how clumsy soldiers can be. Are you sure you won't stay for a drink?
Well, maybe just for a bit.
Can I get you anything?
Okay. Okay, I guess she doesn't have any new options.
Goodbye.
Okay, now we can head to our world map and start recruiting companions. Let's go and travel. Ooh, it's nighttime in Orlesian, somewhere in Royeaux, I guess.
the Inquisition's herald.
Yeah, it's me.
Well, they know who I work.
Oops. Mercenary. We are being attacked by mercenaries. Who are these people? Who paid you? I demand an answer. Ooh, looks so creepy. Any other secrets here? No. Okay, let's open the door.
Herald of Andraste. How much
Andraste.
did you expend to discover me? It must have weakened the Inquisition immeasurably.
I don't even know who you are.
You don't fool me. I'm too important for this to be an accident. My efforts will survive in victories against you elsewhere.
Oh, uh-oh.
Just say what?
What is that?
Right in the mouth.
Ugh. Squishy
Ew.
one, but you heard me, right? Just say what?
Yeah, I heard you.
Rich tits always try for more than they deserve.
Blah, blah, blah. Obey me. Arrow in my face.
So, you followed the notes well enough. Glad to see you're kind of plain, really.
That's
All
mean.
that talk, and then you're just a person.
What did you
I
expect?
mean, it's all good, isn't it? The important thing is you glow. You're the herald thingy.
Yes, but what did you expect me to be? An Avar? What did you expect me to be? A demon? I guess some say that I'm the herald, and who are you?
Some believe I'm the Herald of Andraste. But who are you, and what's this about?
No idea. I don't know this idiot from Manners. My people just said the Inquisition should look at him.
Your people? Elves?
No. People. Name's Sera. This is cover. Get round it. For the reinforcements. Don't worry. Someone tipped me their equipment shed. They've got no breaches.
Oh no. Okay.
Why didn't you take
Get to
their
cover.
weapons?
Because no breaches.
Oh my, we're are we fighting? Oh my. Are we really fighting these mercenaries without leggings?
Friends really came through with that tip. No breaches. So, Herald of Andraste. You're a strange one. I'd like to join.
Okay, but I need to know who you are and who are your people.
How about we get to know each other first? You know, names and such.
One name. No, wait, two. Well, it's like this. I sent you a note to look for hidden stuff by my friends. The Friends of Red Jenny. That's me. Well, I'm one. So is a fence in Montfort, some woman in Kirkwall. There were 3 in Starkhaven, brothers or something. It's just a name, yeah? It lets little people, friends, be part of something while they stick it to nobles they hate.
Okay.
So here, in your face, I'm Sera. The Friends of Red Jenny are sort of out there. I use them to help you. Plus arrows.
Okay, but why do you want to join? So, are you offering spies?
The Inquisition has spies already. Can you add to these professionals?
Here's how it is. You important people are up here, shoving your cods around. Blah, blah, I'll crush you. Ooh, crush you.
What's
Then you
going
have cloaks
on?
and spy kings, like this tit. Or was he one of the little knives, all serious with his little knife? All those secrets, and what gave him up? Some houseboy who don't know shite, but knows a bad person when he sees one. So no, I'm not knifey shiv dark, all hidden.
Knifey
If you don't
shiv
listen
dark.
down here too, you risk your breeches. Like those guards, I stole their... Look,
Yeah,
do you
I
need
get it.
people or not?
I get you stole
I want
their
to get everything
breeches.
back to normal. Like you.
Yeah, and you made them attack us without wearing pants. Okay, sure. I I want to ask you some questions. Who exactly are your friends?
So who are your friends of Red Jenny? You must know them.
Oh, it's not hard to understand if you're not trying to waste your day on it. Someone little always hates someone big. And unless you don't eat, sleep, or piss, you're never far from someone little. Doesn't always work out, but a lot of people hated this guy. Someone got a laugh, someone got even, someone got paid. And someone has to have explained to them that free help is good.
I get it. I understand. I just want to ask these questions for confirmation. Why ask if I glow? I glow in the dark.
To know if I glowed. Why?
That's what you do, innit? You walked
I'm a
out of somewhere
slime.
and now you glow. Andraste's herald. True or not, it seemed like the easiest way to know it was you.
True or not?
Well, that's what they say and all. Look, don't get ahead, yeah? I want to help this... whatever it is. Inquisition.
I'm not gonna say this. Sounds petty and criminal. That's a bit mean. Is this a question? Okay. You can join for now.
All right,
for now.
Sera. I can use you and your friends.
Yes! Getting good before you're too big to like. That'll keep your breeches where they should be. Plus extra breeches because I have all these... You have merchants who buy that piss, yeah? Got to be worth something. Anyway, Haven. See you there, Herald. This will be grand.
Okay. You're a bit too overly enthusiastic. Okay, let's use her. Let's try her out. Let's give her a chance. For the banter. I'm doing this for the banter. Oh, she gave us a new operation. A war table operation. I can hear mice. Is that mice? Too many breaches. She is silly. Okay, one loot above us. I guess I got an achievement from that, but it doesn't really show on the stream. Oh, we got 2 more sacks here. Sacks of potatoes. What are we even looting? Oh, just crafting materials. And this leads to the world map. Let's go and meet first enchanter. Enchantment. First enchanter Vivenne. Ooh, wow. This looks so fancy. Oh. We're underdressed for the occasion.
Lady Trevelyan of Ostwick, representing the Inquisition.
Hello, hello.
What a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Seeing the same faces at every event becomes so tiresome.
I don't have a mask. Someone give me a mask.
So you must be a guest of Madame de Fer. Or are you here for Duc Bastien?
Are you here on business? I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of them are true.
Questions first. How did you know of me?
What have you heard about me?
Some say that when the veil opened, Andraste herself delivered you from the Fade.
And who is this Madame de Fer?
I'm not familiar with that name. I was invited here by First Enchanter Vivenne.
Madame de Fer is a fond nickname the court has given Lady Vivenne.
I've heard she finds it amusing.
And who is this Duc Bastien?
I've heard very little about Duc Bastien.
He hasn't been seen much at court lately.
His business with the Council of Heralds often takes him from home for long periods. It can't be good for a man of his years.
And of course, there's the Civil War. Bastien probably wishes to distance himself from the actions of his one-time son-in-law.
Tearing up the Dales in a foolish bid for power? It will end in disgrace for Gaspard. Everyone knows it.
Okay. And what have you heard about me?
Some of those storytellers may have gotten carried away.
But only for the best effect. The Inquisition is a ripe subject for wild tales.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sisters and crazed seekers. No one can take them seriously.
Who is this a-hole?
Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
We're trying to restore peace at a time like this.
The Inquisition is working to restore peace and order to Thedas.
Here comes the outsider, restoring peace with an army. We know what your Inquisition truly is.
Then tell me.
If you were a woman of honor, you'd step outside and answer the charges.
Whoops.
My dear Marquis, how unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests.
Fancy.
You know such rudeness is intolerable.
Madame Vivenne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should. Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear?
I don't know,
My lady,
exile
you're
him
the
or
wounded
something.
party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with this foolish, foolish man?
Let him go. I guess. I don't know, like he just insulted us. It's not like he tried to attack us.
I think the Marquis has seen the error of his ways.
By the grace of Andraste, you have your life, my dear. Do be more careful with it. I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivenne, first Enchanter of Montsimard and Enchantress to the Imperial Court.
And what about that guy?
Is that Marquis going to pose a problem?
His aunt is the Vicomtesse of Mont de Glace. Not a powerful family, but well respected. And very devout. Alphonse will be disowned for this.
Whoops.
It's not the first time he's brought his aunt disgrace, but I'm sure it'll be the last.
Whoops.
And after such a public humiliation, I expect he'll run off to the Dales to join the Empress's war effort. Either to make a good end, or to win back a modicum of self-respect.
Okay, but at least his life isn't over. A pleasure to meet you.
Charmed, Lady Vivenne.
Ah, but I didn't invite you to the chateau for pleasantries. With Divine Justinia dead, the Chantry's in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
Oh, there's already a flirt option. We've just met. What kind of assistance do you bring?
What exactly can you do for the Inquisition?
I am well versed in the politics of the Orlesian Empire.
Okay.
I know
You
every
can definitely
member
use
of the
her.
Imperial Court personally. I have all the resources remaining to the Circle at my disposal. And I'm a mage of no small talent. Will that do?
You'll work inside the court for our benefit?
Does that mean you'd be aiding the Inquisition from the Imperial Palace?
Ordinarily, I would be happy to serve as liaison to the court, but these are not ordinary times. The veil has been ripped apart and there is a hole in the sky. It is now the duty of every mage to work towards sealing the breach. And so I would join the Inquisition on the field of battle.
Okay. What are loyal mages, in your opinion?
You say you led the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
Okay. Do you support the circle then?
So you're in favor of returning the mages to the circle then?
Where else can mages safely learn to master their talents? We need an institution to protect and nurture magic. Maker knows, magic will find neither on its own.
Unless there's to be an entire overhaul of how circles work, I don't really know. I mean, what do you get out of this?
What's in this for you?
The same thing anyone gets by fighting this chaos. The chance to meet my enemy, to decide my fate. I won't wait quietly for destruction.
Okay. That's a worthy cause. Do you support the Chantry?
Are you devout? What's your opinion of the Chantry?
I was a great admirer of the late divine Justinia V. The Chantry, at its best, unites the disparate cultures of Thedas and looks after its most vulnerable. Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so much.
Okay, but the Chantry opposes the Inquisition. Why would you want to help us then?
You are aware that the Chantry hasn't sanctioned this Inquisition.
The Chantry is leaderless. They're in no position to officially sanction anything. Besides, my dear, if there is one virtue the Chant of Light teaches us, it is forgiveness. Once the Inquisition has sealed the breach, I'm sure the new Divine will not care in the slightest about official permission.
Okay. I guess welcome aboard?
The Inquisition will be happy to have you, Lady Vivenne.
Great things are beginning, my dear. I can promise you that.
Okay, we've got a new rogue, Sera, and we've also got a new mage. So we can finally replace Soulless. Okay, we are kicked out of the party for some reason. Sadly. Okay, you're brought back here. Let's quickly check our journal for quests. I guess there is this choice. I mean, quest is, you know, making the choice between siding with the mages, the Templars or the mages. And we can recruit 2 more companions. We have one called Blackwall in the hinterlands. We can go to the hinterlands again. Just for this one. Okay, we're not going to do anything else in the hinterlands. We're just going to recruit this guy. And then as planned, we are going to head to the Storm Coast, both to recruit Iron Bull and also to, you know, explore it and start doing quests there. I guess that's it. So, wait. Are there more special shipments? Really? Even more special shipments? And then we also have this thing here. Is this a bug? I just wanted to check before we proceed. Hi, who are you people? Because I just wanted to check if they added new things here, because last time we came here there wasn't really anything. Is this bridge new? I don't think so. I don't think we can go this way. So this is probably a bug. And let's go check if there are additional special shipments to receive. It's just another chill stream. We're just here to explore and try to get some things done.
So we have Tevinter activity in the hinterlands, and the Templars are compromised.
You think the Templars are responsible for the attack on the Conclave?
I think they're a piece of it, as are the Tevinter in the hinterlands.
Oh, didn't really find Tevinter in the hinterlands yet. I guess that was a bug, because we didn't really get anything from that.
Your report on the Seeker Fortress was excellent. It gave us information we dearly needed.
Thank you. I don't know. It used to be easy. Blame the mages or blame the Templars.
That simplistic thinking is fine for soldiers. You and I are more than that, Scout Palaine.
That attack on the Conclave wasn't the end. There's someone out there. Or something. It's not going to stop, is it?
He's
I would
learning.
be very much surprised if it did.
Then I suppose I should get back out.
I'm enjoying observing the growth of Scout Palaine. He used to be anti-mage when we first overheard his conversations with Scout Charter. Okay.
How many people are going to die before this is over? Not as many as would have if we weren't here. Now hush and pass me a bandage.
Okay, now let's go back to the hinterland. Just to recruit Blackwall. Oops. Sorry. There we go. He's somewhere here. And this tiny bit of lake. Let's go and try Vivenne and Sera, our new companions. It's nice to be able to meet more friends.
Nothing to report, sir.
Okay, he's over here. I thought it was... Okay, we need to head south. Then what's that thing in the north? Ooh, okay. We shouldn't go there because that is the main quest. I think he's in this lake, isn't he? Okay, let's try to find our way to the top. I guess there's no way here. Let's turn back. Whoa, look at her. That's more like a scythe than a staff. Scary. She's like the Grim Reaper or something.
Nothing to report, sir.
Okay. No new requisitions. I was surprised when they gave us the same requisition, one of the first requisitions that we received, which was for prisoner cages. I don't know why we need more cages. Like, why? No one needs that many cages. We haven't even... Oh, what is this?
We've been searching the region for resources. Commander's orders.
Oh, thank you. Is this for me?
Given recent troubles, but I've some supplies here you may find useful.
Thank you. We haven't really imprisoned anyone, so we don't need that many prisoner cages. Thank you so much. This is new. We didn't really get anything. Whoops. Wait, well, we're not allowed? We were not allowed to swim into that, in that lake? Okay, then let's try to avoid the water. Is it too cold for us? Is it cursed? Why are we not allowed to swim in the lake? That's a bit odd. Okay, is this where Blackwall is? I guess he's over there.
They will make this a fight, not us. Line there and there, no gaps.
Okay, he's mentoring 3 soldiers.
Remember how to carry your shields. You're not hiding, you're holding. Otherwise, it's useless.
Blackwall? Warden Blackwall?
You're not. How do you know my name? Who said that?
Woo.
That's it. Help or get out. We're dealing with these idiots first. Conscripts, here they come.
Let's go.
Hold the wall then. Come to me.
You're dead, bastard!
I wasn't here to fight. Stop and think.
Too late for that! You know how this ends!
There we go. Ooh, wow. Oh, a warrior. Nice sword.
Sorry, bastards.
Okay. I'm
Good
glad
work, conscripts.
none of them
Even
got
if this
hurt.
shouldn't have happened. They could have. Well, thieves are made, not born. Take back what they stole. Go back to your families. You saved yourselves.
Oh. Nice music. I like it.
You're no farmer. Why do you know my name? Who are you?
Greetings.
I know your name because I'm an agent of the Inquisition. I'm investigating whether the disappearance of Wardens has anything to do with the murder of the Divine.
Maker's balls. The Wardens and the Divine. That can't... No, you're asking so you don't really know.
No, I don't.
First off, I didn't know they disappeared. But we do that, right? No more blight, job done. Wardens are the first thing forgotten. But one thing I'll tell you, no Warden killed the Divine. Our purpose isn't political.
I wasn't really accusing the Wardens, I was just asking.
I'm not here to accuse. Not yet. I just need information. I've only found you. Where are the rest?
I haven't seen any Wardens for months. I travel alone, recruiting. Not much interest because the Archdemon is a decade dead, and no need to conscript because there's no blight coming. Treaties give Wardens the right to take what we need, who we need. These idiots forced this fight, so I conscripted their victims. They had to do what I said, so I told them to stand. Next time they won't need me. Grey Wardens can inspire. Make you better than you think you are.
Well, that's good. It's a good thing that you were helping those farmers. You can already flirt with him. You've just met. Those Grey Warden treaties sound powerful.
I wasn't aware Grey Wardens could take whatever they want.
It's complicated. If there's a blight, everyone has to help the effort to fight it. The treaties are ancient. Outside of blights, it's as binding as a clever tongue can make it.
Okay. Where might they go?
Do you have any idea where the other Wardens could have gone?
Maybe they returned to our stronghold at Weishaupt? That's in the Anderfels, a long way north. I don't really know. Can't imagine why they'd all disappear at once, let alone where they'd disappear to.
But if you're a Grey Warden, why aren't you there? Why didn't you just go there? Why didn't you try to to find your fellow Grey Warden at your headquarters? I don't know.
Why haven't you
Something
gone missing
is
like the rest of
sus.
them?
Well, maybe I was going to. Or maybe there's a new directive, but a runner got lost or something. My job was to recruit on my own. Plan to stay that way for months. Years.
You're giving me nothing? Inspiring, but fruitless.
You're no help. I'm no further ahead than I was.
Inquisition. Agent, did you say? Hold a moment. The Divine is dead and the sky is torn. Events like these, thinking we're absent is almost as bad as thinking we're involved. If you're trying to put things right, maybe you need a Warden. Maybe you need me.
How can you alone help? I guess that was the question earlier.
But what can one Grey Warden do?
Save the fucking world if pressed. Look, maybe fighting demons from the sky isn't something I'm practiced at. But show me someone who is. And like I said, there are treaties. Maybe this isn't a blight, but it's bloody well a disaster. Some will honor them. Being a Warden means something to a lot of people.
Yeah, sure. You can join us.
Warden
The more
Blackwall,
the merrier.
The Inquisition accepts your offer.
Good to hear. We both need to know what's going on. And perhaps I've been keeping to myself for too long. This Warden walks with the Inquisition.
Okay, you're no longer alone. You are not alone. We've got a new warrior, a new mage, and a new rogue. Let's try all of them. And he gave us a war table mission. I guess some loot. Some looting. Looting is in order. We got some Ferelden locks. And a note. Charred paper. A letter found on the body of a bandit who stole from refugees in the hinterlands. The ink is smudged and only a few sentences can be made out. You can die pretending you'll earn back your soldier's honor. Or you can do something with the skill set SOB taught you. Spend some time with my boys. No one will know who you are in Ferelden. And it's not so bad. A little bit of smuggling, a little bit of extortion, you'll get used to it. Okay, some blood lotus there. Is this your house? Blackwall? Are you hiding some secrets, some notes here? No? Okay. I am not gonna bore you guys with the hinterlands because we're basically done with the hinterlands anyway. I guess now we can go back to Haven to start the operations in the Storm Coast. We should have done that before we left Haven. Oh well. That's just how it is. Sometimes we make mistakes. Well, while we're here, how about we try to get to know our new companions better? Endermany on YouTube says, going to a new area, I almost don't believe you. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been in Haven and the hinterlands for too long. I've been playing this game very slowly. I guess it's just how I am with games.
Now that we've got better maps, if you like.
I'm very, very slow.
To get more out of them.
Oh, can you now?
Fine, forget I said it.
Hi, Blackwall. Can you tell me more about yourself? Ooh, a cutscene.
Make her look at it. So much easier to ignore when it's far away. And to actually walk out of it. To be that close.
I was lucky.
If I hadn't been saved by the Inquisition soldiers, I don't know what would have happened.
Inquisition soldiers? That's not what I've heard. The breach, the Divine's death, the Wardens. It doesn't make sense. There's so much we don't know.
What did you hear? Is it we already? Your help will be invaluable.
Your experience with the Wardens will certainly be useful.
Mostly the treaties, I expect. Old parchments you're welcome to. What about you? How do you fit into all this?
Some worship me, I like that. I just want peace.
I just want to help stop the war. Try to put things back in order.
A worthy goal, one I'm happy to support.
Oh, he
For
likes
me,
that.
I'll be satisfied so long as we find the bastards that killed the Divine. They owe us some answers.
I guess you are a Chantry supporter.
I've heard rumors of abandoned Warden camps all over these parts. If we have time, I'd like to take a look. See if there's anything we can salvage.
Sure. Tell me about the Wardens.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
The Wardens? I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
What do you Wardens do?
The Blight's been over for 10 years. What do Wardens do when the world's not ending?
There is still Darkspawn. Just because we killed so many in Ferelden doesn't mean they're gone. And the world is not so peaceful that there's no use for good men with swords. Sometimes you have to figure out for yourself what the pledge to protect others really means. It's not always about just archdemons and blights.
And what is your role, or what was your role during the Blight?
Where were you during the Blight?
I was in Ferelden, on my own like always. Quietly killed my fair share of Darkspawn too.
Okay. And why were you traveling alone?
You haven't had contact with other Wardens for a while. Why were you on your own?
It's what I've always done. Recruitment only requires one man. Besides, I've always been a loner. Works best for everyone that way.
Okay, I guess it's true. Recruitment only needs one man. I think Duncan in Dragon Age Origins, he was alone when he was recruiting new Grey Wardens, recruits.
So you have no idea where the rest of the Wardens are?
Do you find that odd? The Blight is over. We don't need an organized force. And orders don't change much from day to day. For the last 1,000 years or so, it's been just find Darkspawn, kill them, repeat as necessary.
Okay.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
Did he have any other dialogue options?
Inquisitor?
I guess that's it.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
Oh, he gave us a quest. Memories of the Grey. Finding Grey Warden artifacts. And then we have Sera over here. And we can actually talk to Leliana. I think we missed her. We haven't really been speaking with her. I guess I just didn't know where she was. Okay, is Sera in the tavern? Yeah, she is.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. That would have been hilarious if you were a man, right? Wasted. Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and Mages need to be sat down.
There's a lot more going on than the war.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it, but I can't put an arrow in that. Well, I have. Doesn't come down. That's weird.
She actually tried.
Point, right? It's weird and right there, but they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
We'll help them all see, in time, in due time.
That's why we're here. To help guide everyone back from the brink.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it all about that. Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is stupid and smells of horse. Really, what everyone needs is to get everything back to normal and proper and profitable. Sound good to you, old-touched Lady Herald?
And we can already flirt with her. You staying. Sounds very good. Yeah, sounds good to me.
I'm ready to give it a shot. That's all I can ask from anyone else.
I'm in. It's
She
an
likes
investment,
that.
Yeah? Better pay off, too. Stupid war and everything. I had things to do.
Things like what? What were you planning to do? It's like, I was planning to do something, but then this war, and then that breach, how dare they?
Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of the name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait.
Lord Voldemort.
That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
He who must not be named. Oh my, I'm getting hungry and my stomach is grumbling. If you are hearing things, it's just my stomach grumbling. I need a snack, but I ran out of energy bars. Wow, we can just outright tell her you don't fit the Inquisition. That's just mean. Any opinions about our allies?
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which? The ones who do things or the ones who give orders?
Cassandra?
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough, though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
Okay. Using her as a human shield? That's not very nice. Solus?
What about Solus?
Solus? His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
I agree with you on that. Varric?
Anything to say about Varric?
Varric? Too clever. Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
Ooh, you don't like him? How about my advisors?
What do you think about our spymaster, ambassador, and commander?
Leliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair though.
Okay. Interesting insight. I will be back. Just a moment. Just a minute. Just give me a minute. I'm back. What is this? What is this? What is this nun doing? Is she a nun? Is she a chantry person? I'll show it to you. See? She's dancing to our BGM. Oh my. She likes it. This is just too weird. Oh well. Okay, let's get back to the game. What do you think about Vivenne?
What's your opinion of Vivenne?
She's a bitch, but she knows.
Sera is a bit too direct for my taste, but oh well. She's helpful, I guess, and she's refreshing.
Any thoughts about Warden Blackwall?
He's too good, right? Like to see him out of that uniform. Not like that.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here.
Anything else, Sera?
Chasing mages, that's a Templar's job. A big, armored, pissed-off helm polisher.
Helm polisher.
Let's go find some. Or stay home.
Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Tell me about yourself.
What about me?
Where are you from?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden.
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine.
All
Turn around
over.
For a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
Okay.
There are no connections you want to mention at all.
Nope. It's complicated. I don't like complicated.
Okay,
Let's
I'm
leave
not
it
gonna
at that.
pressure her.
Maybe.
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Only when I'm boasting. Not really.
Usually it takes considerable discipline. Hence my question.
Hence? Look, I work at it. Practice a little. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Is it an elf thing?
Oh my, that's
Most
not a
Irish
very
will find
good
an arrow
thing to ask.
Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
Ooh, okay. She grew up in the streets. You're different for an elf.
You're not like most of the elves I've met.
Thanks, right? Or was that an insult? Suppose I could go barefoot and whine more. That's soulless, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
I just wanted to see Sera and Solus fight. Battle Royale mode, but with words. No weapons, no magic. Just throw it all away?
There's nothing to learn from any of that history.
Yes, don't do that. What? We lost so bad there was nothing left. You figure out what they wore on their deathbed. You wear it. Waste of time.
Okay, interesting comparison.
We'll talk later.
If you say so.
Researcher Mage wishes to use some inexpensive.
Okay, I guess we can try to talk to Leliana just to pay respects. Pay her respects because we haven't really talked to her. I didn't know she was even here. Has she always been here?
Have you seen Enchanter Vivenne? That's the picture of what a circle mage should
Gossiping
be.
about Vivenne.
Like a noble. It's arrogant.
It is not arrogant to be unafraid.
Have you always been here, or did you just get here now?
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing?
She's
You
starting
speak
to doubt.
Fantastic, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
I'm no prophet.
How is this a game? Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
I can't speak for Andraste.
I speak for no one but myself, and I have no answers for you. Then we can only guess at what he wants. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
Okay, let's sympathize with her.
I'm sorry. Her death has clearly hit you hard.
Not just me. All of us. She was the divine. She led the faithful. She was their heart. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
That's really sad to hear that she is doubting. But at the same time, I mean, we should all doubt in some ways. I can try to help?
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come. To work, then. We will speak later.
No, it's fine. We are all working together. Not only that, we should be friends. I guess she doesn't want to.
True. Butler has stand on us. I hope my
She doesn't want
hunch
to
was
talk to
wrong.
us.
You knew him well?
Not as well as I thought. Show me the reports. There were so many questions surrounding Farria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Farria, one of my best agents.
Oh no.
And knows where the others
A
are.
traitor in our midst?
You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once.
Oh, this seems like it's an important choice. I don't want to harden her. I am going to stop her from killing this agent. We can always, I don't know, detain him. Like, exile him or something.
Wait, what are you doing?
He betrayed us. He murdered my agent.
And you'd kill him, just like that.
You find fault with my decision?
It's not the answer at this moment.
We can't solve our problems with murder.
And what would you suggest? Leave him be. Butler's betrayal put our agents in danger. I condemned one man to save dozens. I may not like what I do, but it must be done. I cannot afford the luxury of ideals at a time like this.
Ideals are important. We can't just kill people right now because there is a war going on. There are people dying from demon attacks.
Now is precisely the time for ideals.
You feel very strongly about this. Very well. I will think of another way to deal with this man. Apprehend Butler, but see that he lives.
Okay, it's good that she
Now, if you're happy,
calm
I
down.
have more work to do.
Any other interactions with her?
Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them.
And
You
that
have
is
to be
us.
that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
Why do you care about mages?
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care?
I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me. And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
Okay. Any updates?
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
Tell me about yourself.
Let's talk about you.
Me?
Tell me about your past.
What did you do before you worked for the Divine?
I trained to be a spy from a young age. Learned from the best.
For a while, I was wildly happy. I loved the thrill of that life, the danger. But nothing lasts forever. I went into hiding, and when I emerged, the Divine called on me. She presented me with my own network of spies, and said I was the only one she could trust.
Okay.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You met the hero of Feraldin?
You have a history with the Warden who entered the Blight, don't you?
I had the privilege of calling her friend before she died. The world seemed much duller after that. It still does.
And how do you know Josephine?
You seem to know Josephine quite well.
I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the Blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Royeaux, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball.
Ooh, party.
She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... alright. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
A real party? What do you mean?
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board.
Oh
and
my.
That's all I'm saying about it.
Oh my.
We can continue this conversation later.
Scandalous.
You know where I am. It seems Blackwall knows nothing about the disappearance of the Grey Wardens. It's a disappointment. I am,
More like
however,
it's suspicious,
glad
right?
that he is with us, even if he was not what I expected. He seems to be a good man, and his experience will be an asset to the Inquisition.
What did you expect him to be?
The other Wardens. I suppose we will have to keep looking.
Yeah, we didn't get to ask her this.
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did? What of it?
What does that mean? What is the left hand?
What exactly does the left hand of the Divine do?
A Divine always has enemies, and Justinia had more than most. I protected her. I watched, had an ear to every door. I identified threats, and I dealt with them.
Why does the Divine have so many enemies?
Why did Justinia have so many enemies?
There were many who felt she was unfit to be divine.
Ooh.
She had a past, a worldly life. Unlike
Controversial.
many, she wasn't given to the Chantry as a child. She chose it, and somehow that made her unworthy. And because they thought she was unworthy, they wished her harm.
That's a bit too much. That sounds like a spy master.
So you were her spy master too?
I handled difficult situations that couldn't be resolved through more delicate means.
Okay, and why start the Inquisition?
What is the point of an Inquisition?
Justinia would have started the Inquisition if the Divine Conclave failed to restore peace.
Yeah.
She hoped that with enough support,
That's
we
what
could
we
challenge
learned
the
a
very
few
tenets of the Chantry.
videos ago.
She wanted the Chantry
Episodes
to
ago.
treat the mages fairly. But sometimes I wonder, why stop at mages? The Chantry has committed many injustices. If we're going to change it, why not change the whole thing?
Definitely a complete overhaul of the Chantry.
None of this will be
The
possible if we
Chantry.
fail.
The Chantry. It's Shinobi on YouTube says, "Hey there, hi Shinobi, how are you doing this fine day, night?" I'm sorry that she died.
I'm sorry she didn't live to see the Inquisition.
So am I.
Why don't you join my party and come, I don't know, fight with me?
I
Fight
could
for
use
me.
the left hand of the Divine at my side out there.
Every agent out in the world is my eyes, my ears, my blade. Wherever my people are, I am also. Coming with you, leaving my post, would blind and bound me. Do you see?
Yeah, I see, okay. I get it. Okay, lastly, please tell me more about the Divine.
I'd like to hear about Justinia. What was she like?
A friend. A mentor. Like me, she had secrets, made mistakes. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that.
Okay, good to know. How did you two meet?
How did you and Justinia meet?
I met her a long time ago, before she became divine. Before she was Justinia. When I met her, she was Mother Dorothea. I was at my lowest. Broken, lost. And she saved me. No, wait. She hates it when I say that. I saved myself. She just showed me it was possible.
Okay, good to hear that. Were you two more than friends?
Was there something more than friendship between you?
You're asking if we were lovers? Typical. I was devoted to her, therefore it must be romantic. Love is common. Love is simple. My bond with Justinia was something greater. She was a sister, a mother, a teacher. So to answer your question, yes, it was more than friendship.
Yeah, I get it. She respected her very much.
We'll talk more later.
And lastly, we have Vivenne. And I think she is here inside the chantry. Hiding among the pillars.
I met an elven mage earlier. Solus, I believe he was called. I admit I was surprised. I didn't expect to find mages among the Inquisition. Tell me, why were you at the Divine Conclave?
Wait, are you suspecting me too? Yes, we are approaching 2 hours. Thank you. We were there because this chaos harms everyone. We need peace.
The war benefits no one. It must end, and order must be restored.
If only the rebels saw things so clearly. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
Okay.
I'll try not to let them down.
Failure is a luxury we cannot afford, my dear. For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
I'll use it to change things.
If that's true, then I'll put it to good use.
Oh, she doesn't like that.
I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you.
I wonder why.
Yes?
Tell me about the circle.
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
Tell me about the Templars.
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarrans or men. I have known some who are impossible to endure and some who are utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Royeaux. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay.
Okay. Wasn't the circle disbanded?
If the Circle disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
The Circle is an idea, my dear, and an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the Circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
I see. Shouldn't you replace her then?
If you led all the loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held.
Okay.
I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
What was circle life like for you?
What was it like to live in a circle?
My dear, your question is the root of all problems with mages.
Wait,
I cannot tell you.
I didn't do anything.
Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves. Some people suffered and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
Yeah, but that is exactly what's wrong with the circles. They're not consistent. If they're all safe and not abusive, then this wouldn't even happen. What about your personal experience?
So tell me about your personal experience with the Circle.
I enjoyed life in the Montsimard Circle, my dear. It was an edifice devoted to knowledge and refinement. And mages need the company of other mages. No one else can truly understand the challenges we face, nor see the world as we do.
Okay, I guess you had a pleasant stay in the circle. That is why she is very much pro-circle.
You must have been under constant supervision, being forced by Templars to live in the tower. Was that hard to endure?
My dear, I have a suite in the palace and a wing at my dear Duke Bastien's estate. I've never been forced to live anywhere. Most circles allowed mages to live away from the tower, either on their own or in service to the nobility. All that was required was permission from the first enchanter. Some circles were harsher in their restrictions. Kirkwall was the worst, but it was the exception. Most were quite permissive. Perhaps too permissive, in retrospect.
Oh no. I don't like her. I don't like her opinions, but oh well. She's a bit too privileged to see how bad it is, or it was rather, for other mages in other circles.
How did we come to this state with the circles in revolt?
A failure of perspective that infected circle leadership. Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and mages. They could not even imagine what was beyond the tower walls. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars, sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
It is complicated, but still. Do you know Fiona?
Are you familiar with Grand Enchanter Fiona?
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, I thought her adequate at her job.
Just adequate.
In her dotage, she could not handle looking after the well-being of so many people. We would have done better to replace her years ago, to let her spend time gardening.
Oh my, that's harsh. Were they justified? Were the mages justified?
Did they have cause to rebel?
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks? Was that really the most opportune time to break away? By all means protest abuses by the Templars. Just don't do it in a way that says mages support wholesale murder. By voting when they did, my colleagues all but declared war upon the ordinary people of Thedas. A war in which we are outnumbered 100 to 1.
But the terrorist attack, the blowing of the, yeah, that thing that happened in Dragon Age 2, it wasn't really by a circle mage. It was by an apostate, so it's complicated.
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin, but Fiona chose to let the motion stand. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the entire free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was forced to take arms against the rebels.
That was a hard conversation. Is there anything else that you can tell me about yourself?
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivenne.
Whatever would you like to know?
Where are you from?
Your accent's not Orlesian. Where exactly are you from?
I am from the Circle, my dear. One's country of origin rarely matters there. But if you must know, I was born in Wycombe in the Free Marches. I was sent to the Ostwick Circle, but I transferred to Monsignor while still an apprentice.
Okay. We're from the same country.
I'm curious how a Circle Mage winds up a courtier.
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. It takes a great deal of effort to arrive there. I caught the eye of Duke Bastien de Ghislaine, an advantageous connection that opened many doors. When the position of Enchanter to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was able to secure it.
Okay. So it's through connections.
You're married to the Duke de Ghislaine?
Of course not, my dear. Don't be ridiculous. Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. I'm Bastien's mistress.
And what does his wife think?
And what does the Duchess de Ghislaine think of this arrangement?
We got along quite well. Duchess Nicoline and I used to host musical salons together. She was a great patron of the arts. She passed away from a fever a few years ago, the poor dear.
It's a good thing that they're friends. What is a court enchanter? What does that even mean?
What duties does a court enchanter have?
I am tasked with providing assistance to the Empress on arcane matters. Most of my predecessors restricted this to lighting lamps and doing parlor tricks.
Okay.
In such troubled times as these, however, I provide political advice to Her Majesty on the subject of the Mage Rebellion.
I see. Okay, I'm not gonna flirt with her. I don't even like her opinions, so I guess that's it. There's one more option, which is I want to help the Circle, even if
Is there anything I can do to help your efforts at restoring the Circle?
After the Circles fell, their libraries were plundered by scavengers. 1,000 years of recorded knowledge in the hands of bandits.
Is this a quest?
I've received news that some tomes have been located.
Okay, we'll do the quest.
Righting this wrong.
I'll find them.
I'll look into it for you.
If you can take care of this matter, the Circle would be in your debt.
Alrighty. We got more quests from our new companions, Blackwall and Vivenne.
Thank you for all that you are doing.
But we have gone over the 2-hour mark, I guess. And I think we've done a lot today. We might not have been able to, go to a brand new map, which is the Storm Coast. Even though I thought we would be able to do it this stream, but that's definitely our priority next stream. We were still able to add 3 new companions to our roster. So I guess we still did a good job and we got to talk to them and try to get to know them a little better. So, priority for the next stream. Our goal for the next stream is to explore the Storm Coast and also to recruit Iron Bull. So that's it for today, I guess. Thank you so much for watching and have a great weekend. I'll see you next time. Hopefully very, very soon. Goodbye. Just a moment. There we go. Goodbye. Take care.